Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, the Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for Friday Night SmackDown. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Sorry, I'm to leave a like. Comment below and know your thoughts on Friday Night SmackDown. And, of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into the review, shall we? So, I think this was a very good episode of SmackDown. Now, overall, my main criticism when it comes to this episode, well, only really becomes into one segment, and that is in the opening. Not the opening with the car wreck. That was actually a lot of fun. I actually really did enjoy that quite a bit, especially with Cody coming and going like, I don't care about this wreck. I need to know if my contract is good right now before we do this contract signing. That was really funny. Everything we're doing with the Bloodline. Again, I am just kind of over the whole Bloodline saga. The more that, Solo can be with his family tree, by all means. I just don't really care for him to feud with Jacob anymore. Same with Jacob feuding with Solo. Same with Jimmy being in the mix as well. I just want them to face other people. But the Charlotte and Bliss and, Raquel and Roxanne feud that's going to happen at SummerSlam. One, that is the right match to do. You do that tag match. And I do think Bliss and Charlotte win the titles at SummerSlam. I think that is the best direction to go in. But the fact that Charlotte just went, hey, I talked to Pierce, and since we didn't really lose at Evolution, he gave us the title match at SummerSlam, and, we're just going to do it. And, again, for the most part, I'm like, yeah, that was the right match to do, so why stand on ceremony alone? But, again, with this whole, we have 3 weeks to build up SummerSlam, it just seems like, here's the match, here's a match, here's a match, here's a match. It's just really going in fast forward in a lot of ways as to really feeling much more organic. And I honestly don't know which one I prefer more because, WrestleMania, it seemed like forever until a match got confirmed. Like we all knew Bianca, Rhea, and Io were going to have a triple threat match. And we just took this very long, convoluted plot in order to get there. But on the flip side, with this on this road to SummerSlam, we just went, Naomi cashed in, she won, they didn't really have it, so yeah, we're just going to do a triple threat at SummerSlam. It's those types of things where I keep going back and forth. I just don't know which one I prefer of this heightened, just really all-out blitz announcing matches heading into SummerSlam. Just has this big adrenaline because, again, like even with this episode of SmackDown, and even Raw too, it was flying by because it was just like go, 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 go. And I just wish that we could find a little bit more of a middle when it comes to that. But overall, the match between Raquel and Charlotte is very good. It does seem like Raquel has really found her footing. It's not to say, anyone's going to benefit from an injury by any means, but now that Liv Morgan is out and, there is like that equal level playing field when it comes to star power for Raquel, I feel like she has really come into her own, and her matches have been very, very good and very entertaining. And I feel like her personality is starting to bleed through a lot more as we progress within this, which now I am kind of becoming more comfortable with breaking up Raquel and Liv Morgan when Liv does come back, because I do think Raquel can now stand on her own 2 feet. I think the match with Charlotte was a lot of fun, very good. They did a lot of power moves throughout. I did like the finish to a degree, only because it was first, because there was a lot of interference on this episode of SmackDown. I think every match, at some point, someone got on the apron. Someone from the outside did get on the apron. But since this one was first, and again, that it didn't play to the bad guys' plans, helped out a lot too. Alexa, let me be quiet for a little bit. Okay. Bliss jumping up on the apron after Roxanne gets on the apron and then hits Raquel with a pom-pom, and then Charlotte uses the surprise roll-up to get the 1, 2, 3. Again, a lot of fun, and since it was first, I forgive it. But then as we go into the other matches, as Stephanie Vakir versus Alba Fire, a little bit of a squash match. Again, the interference doesn't really come into play in that match either. And then even when they tried to attack her afterwards, Stephanie was just like so OP, which is good. I mean, she is going to go for the title, and who knows who she'll face at Clash in Paris. I'm assuming Naomi. I think Naomi's going to hold on at SummerSlam and then maybe lose to Stephanie at Clash in Paris. And, you know, you got to make her strong. You got to make her seem like unbeatable, and like she's going to be really, really tough to beat. So by all means, you got to do that. Yeah, sure, it sucks for Alba Fire because Alba Fire can go if she is given the ball. She's just not given that right now. And honestly, it's just not the time to be having that. Do we really want our number one contender to be struggling to come back from underneath? No, we want her to be dominant, to be like, no, she can win the title when that bell rings for the belt. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, again, Piper Niven jumping up on the apron for that. The Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match, that was always going to happen. I mean, all the bodies were in there, but then Candice LeRae hops up on the apron to try to help DIY, but again, the plan foils. Again, a lot of copy and rinse and repeat, and I don't remember any other matches that come off the top of my head. But if there were, I'm pretty sure there was some interference going on with it. But yeah, the opening match was a lot of fun. I like the Wyatt 6 promo video. Good, you know, gives some good eeriness to it. And we are going to do Andrade and Phoenix versus Wyatt 6 on SmackDown. Don't know why we can't do that at SummerSlam. I think it's really, really apparent that we should get every single title on SummerSlam. In a lot of ways, I do believe SummerSlam needs to feel bigger than WrestleMania. And I would say so far they have accomplished that goal, but I do think you do need to have every single title defended. We only have 3 titles left to announce, right? We have both of the men's tag team divisions. We'll see what happens on Raw, if that's going to be for next week's Raw or for SummerSlam. And we have the Women's United States Champion, Julia, who wasn't even featured on this episode of SmackDown. Yes, she was in the background with Kiana James, who is back, which is really good to see. I'm happy to see Kiana James back. But, you know, we only saw her in the background. She didn't have any focus on it whatsoever, which leads me to believe she ain't going to make the card, which really, really upsets me. Well, not really, really upsets me. That's a really strong word, but it does upset me to a degree. The Solo Sikoa stuff was great. He has found his footing, man. He is so hilarious. Did y'all see the video that they posted afterwards as he's being handcuffed and walking away? And he's like, Cody, help me out. Cody, I'm sorry. Please help me. And then later he's telling the police, okay, I'm sorry. Can you let me go? Like him apologizing. It's just going to let him be away. And I also just really find it funny how, like, okay, Solo, you tried to get an innocent man behind bars, so we're going to put you behind bars, not just within jail, but also in a steel cage at SummerSlam. Look, it needed that. And to me, like, I was not down to just see Jacob and Solo fight again. Like I told you, I'm over the bloodline stuff. Well, I'm not over the bloodline stuff. I'm just over the infighting of the bloodline. It has been happening for 2 years. I just want them to face some fresh bodies and just kind of do their own thing, as opposed to this vortex that we have built with the Fatus that just, they can only battle and mix it up with each other. But yeah, that segment was a lot of fun. Very, very good. Jacob just seems more like a badass every single day. I'm looking forward to the match. Now, that is a steel cage, and I do think Jacob needs to win. And again, they just all need to go their separate ways. And then we finish off with Cody versus John Cena. I really like what they're doing so far. I like that, you know, with Cena, he is aware that Cody has his number. He knows Cody can beat him. And that's why he said, look, I'm overworked. I'm super tired. It's just for the best interest of everyone that I don't compete at SummerSlam. But Cody, you'll get your shot. But it's just not going to be at SummerSlam. He's going to keep prolonging it. And Cody be like, you know what? No, I'm not flinching anymore, like he addressed in his promo and addressing the tweet. Now, I don't know if we're going to do a double turn. I don't think we will. I think it's too soon to turn Cody heel. Maybe in a year's time, maybe we can revisit this conversation, but I just think it's too soon to do that. I think, yeah, Cena probably needs to get his ass beat. I don't think we need to go full squash Brock Lesnar versus Cena style. No. Especially with it now being a street fight, which was so funny how we got there. I'm not going to sign it. And then Cody forces his hand to do it. That can't be legal. But God, I hope it is. When we come back next week, like, yeah, it's official. And Cena's like, there's no way. Like, I think there's a lot of fun that we can have there. But yeah, with it now being a street fight, with who knows what's going to happen, who knows if we'll see Travis Scott again, maybe the final boss shows up, who knows. It feels like a good culmination now that Cena doesn't have any of those tricks, because he's able to do the belt shot because he's not supposed to do the belt shot. Now it's legal, and Cody ain't afraid to do it, and now Cody can expect it and anticipate it. And now I do think it is time for Cody Rhodes to win the title back, and then we slowly turn John Cena back to being a good guy. I think a good epilogue would be Clash in Paris against AJ Styles, maybe for that IC title. Because, surely we're going to get Dominic versus AJ at SummerSlam. And I would think AJ should win, where we do implode the Judgment Day officially, even though the group really does found its legs again. But, AJ wins the IC title, and then Cena can go, you know what? I won the 17th world title. I don't need that anymore. But I do need that IC title to be a Grand Slam champion. So AJ, you, me, and Paris, it's on. And that could be his epilogue to being a bad guy before fully transferring back to the light side, being a baby face that we all know and love, and then just enjoy the final 4 months as we head closer to his retirement, which I really do not know how I'm going to react. But overall, again, very good episode of SmackDown. Again, the only criticism is this, all-out blitz momentum that we are doing with SummerSlam, but also part of me kind of likes it. Because when we were taking our sweet ass time, there were episodes that dragged a little bit on that road to WrestleMania. This road to SummerSlam, we ain't mucking around. I would like to see a little bit more depth within the segments, sure. I would like to see a little bit more of a middle between like a WrestleMania and a SummerSlam, but we just don't get that right now. So again, overall, good episode of SmackDown. The Orton and Jelly Roll stuff on Jimmy Kimmel was pretty cool too. I really did enjoy that quite a bit. But let me know what y'all think of this episode down in the comment section. Leave a like if you made it this far within a review. I do greatly appreciate it. And of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. And until next time, guys, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.